So I went downstairs, and the only ibuprofen that I have is for migraines, but it's just stronger than normal. So I only took one because it's almost double the strength as one. And I took 2 paracetamol, and about 2 minutes later, I was like, my chest got really tight and I couldn't take a full breath. And I thought I was going to pass out, so I walked up to my dad's living room, and this was just before midnight. And I think it was about 20 to 12 or something. And I walked in the room and I crouched down at the end of the sofa, and I'm like, and I told him what was wrong, and I went, I've eaten nuts. And he's like, you idiot. And I went, I know. I said, but I like them and I don't really eat them, and I got a really small packet, and I've not been well for a week anyway, so it's not just that, it's probably that was the kind of icing on the cake with it. And I was doubled over in pain, and I was like, I had the goosebumps, and I was shivering, but I was sweating, and I was in there for about half an hour, and I just crawled up to my bedroom, and no matter what position you get in, it hurts. And I've managed to find a half decent position, and after about an hour and a half, it eased off about 40%. So I came downstairs, got a drink, and I just sat here, upset, thinking, I'm not ringing 111, I don't want to go to hospital, I'm not having an ambulance here, I'm not doing it. I'm not being put in hospital with what's going on at the moment. I don't want to be in hospital. I just don't. And I was up all night, and I went on, and this just goes to show I'm being bullied by a doctor at my surgery. I'm having my health neglected by whoever it is. I sent through a medication request asking a doctor to phone me. I told them what it was, and they know this is serious because it could cause severe complications. So the fact that they've ignored this, because that's what they've done, and I sent 3 different messages, because you only allowed 140 characters including spaces, explaining how much pain I'm in, how unwell I'm feeling, and how I need a doctor to phone me. I put it's not urgent because it says don't send urgent messages, so I put it's not urgent, but I could do with speaking to a doctor today. I'm severely unwell, I'm in a lot of pain, I need help, please help me. And I also put I won't phone because I have severe anxiety around phoning, please phone me. And I stayed awake till about 9:30, and I kept my phone on volume because I didn't want to sleep through a call. Fell asleep for about an hour, woke up for an hour, fell asleep for an hour, woke up for an hour, fell asleep for about half an hour, woke up, and I've been up since. I've had no calls off the doctors. They've not even got a receptionist to ring me to see if I still need to speak to a doctor. A doctor's not phoned me. They've totally ignored the fact that I have something that can cause things to happen in my body that could kill me. And based on the symptoms and the places I'm getting pain, other than my main symptom, or other than the main area that I get the pain, it's a possibility I have one of the things that could actually kill me. So the fact that the doctors ignored the message, and I know for a fact the doctors read the messages, even though it says the doctor may not read the message, I've been told that the doctors do read the messages, because sometimes people put things on that are urgent, and if the doctor doesn't read it or misses it, they could be held accountable for that person dying, even though it does say the doctor may not read the message. And I also know for a fact that the doctors do read messages, because I've put requests for things on, and the things that I always request, I always get. So the fact that the doctor has read these messages, knows I'm severely unwell, knows I won't phone there, and I'm asking for help, and has ignored it, they could actually lose their license, whoever's done it. And they can't lie and say they've not read the message, because they can have their computer taken off them, and it could be go to an expert who can then say whether or not they read that message or not. And when they actually do click on the medication request, I've been told that any message you put on shows up immediately under the request, and it can't be missed. So the doctor has ignored the fact that I'm severely ill, and they'll say, and their justification for it, and me potentially dying, because I could die from this, I'm not exaggerating it, because my doctor used to get frustrated with me because she couldn't understand why I wouldn't have the operation, even though I know I could die from it. They could be held accountable, and they could lose the license. and what they're doing is wrong. It's unethical. If a patient's sick, you don't ignore them, regardless of your personal feelings, because I've found this out from the GMC themselves, that a doctor, regardless of their personal feelings towards a person, whether they like them or not, they're supposed to treat everyone the same and everyone professionally, and if someone's sick, they're supposed to help them. Well, I keep getting ignored. My health has been ignored, and I think it's the male doctor, because I can't imagine the other female doctor ignoring it, and I'm not making comment on my doctor, but I definitely believe it is that male doctor, and I don't know who he thinks he is, but I'm a vulnerable adult. He stopped me from having a medication last week. I had to get it elsewhere because my history proved that I was due it. He then blocked me from sending messages, which then all of a sudden after my dad mentioned it, got reinstated, and now he's ignored a very serious, well, multiple serious messages where I'm telling him how severely unwell I am. He's chosen not to message me or get a receptionist to phone me, because at the very least that's what should have happened, and they've ignored it. And they'll probably block me again and go, well, you sending important messages through. Yeah, funny how I'm sending messages through and I'm going to get blocked from it, even though you've read them and you've chosen to ignore that I'm severely unwell. Do you know what? If he carries on, I'm going to make sure he loses his licence, because I can prove what he's doing. I can prove he's bullying me. I can prove he's ignoring a severely ill patient. I can prove that he stopped me from having a medication that I need and that I'm entitled to. And I can prove he's done this to other people, because what he actually doesn't know is I know 200 to 300 people that go there, and that's not an exaggeration. My mum comes from a large family. She has loads of brothers and sisters. They're married. They have people in their family that they are related to because they're married to someone in their family. So through extended families and friends of friends, I'll easily know at least 200 people there, if not more, and they'll know me. So, and I know from people talking about him, he's done similar things to them, and he picks and chooses who he helps. As a doctor, it shouldn't care if you dislike that person. You should treat everyone equally and fairly. You're a doctor. You become a doctor to help people, not watch them die, which he is ultimately doing, because I could die from what I've got. And I will put this on the internet. He can try and kick me out of the practice. You can't kick someone out of the practice for stating the truth. Guys. I feel so ill. It's about... I'm trying to look at the clock. It's about 1:15 in the morning. I've been away maybe nearly an hour, I don't know. Came upstairs. About 8:30. Because I was so tired. I just got in bed. Didn't even put my phone on charge, just got in bed. Fell asleep. I remember waking up once and just turning back over. I feel so ill. I don't know what to say, I don't know what to do. I'm in absolute agony. I woke up too hot. When I went to sleep I was too cold. Then I'm too hot, so I opened the window, put the fan on, turned the radio off. And I'm half hot, half cold at the moment. I don't know what to do. I can't cope with this. I'm down for a drink. I feel like I need painkillers, but I feel so full. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get any in me. I can't cope with this. I feel extremely nauseous. Like, it's worse than that feeling you get when you're gonna be sick. It's more intense, and I just want it to go away. The pain's bad enough without the nausea. And that's why I've not gone downstairs, because I feel so sick. I don't want to go downstairs. I want a drink. I want some painkillers. I feel so ill. Literally feel so ill. Ow. When I yawn a lot, it's one of two things. I'm either going to be sick or I'm tired. And I think it's both. I don't want to be sick. It's the worst ever. It'll hurt. Because I'm in agony already. And if I'm sick, it'll just hurt me. This is horrific. I want it to stop. I want it to stop, please. Bloody dog. Wait, what, do you want to wait? I think I'm going to go back upstairs now. I want to go to bed. I'm not well. I want to go to bed. She stood at the end of the path for ages. And now she's just walked across the street. And I'm trying to go to bed because I feel like crap. What time is it? It's 5 in the morning. I don't think I'm due painkillers, but I'm going to have some. Dog is freezing. back of my calves. Oh yeah, I left the fan on because I woke up and I was way too hot. The bloody dog. Like, what, do you want to wait? Because I want to go back upstairs now. I want to go to bed. I'm not well. I want to go to bed. She stood at the end of the path for ages. And now she's just walked across the street. And I'm trying to go to bed because I feel like crap. What time is it? It's 5 in the morning. I don't think I'm due painkillers, but I'm going to have some. In this order, it's from ASOS. I got a lip balm. They released these, I think last week on ASOS, and there were 3 flavours. There was watermelon, which I love watermelon, but I think watermelon is more of a spring summer scent, and also watermelon can be artificial. There was this berry one, and I love berries, and there was pear. So the other night, I think there was 20% off. So I took a pair of mom jeans that were in my wish list, because I could do with some jeans. Oh god, the dog's coming upstairs, so she must think I've got food. Here she comes. Hello? Hello? Are you stinky? What are you doing? She's like, where's the food? There isn't any. No, I didn't bring any up. She looked at me like, how dare you not have any? You fatties. I'll tell you a little story about her. So, earlier, I basically got a takeaway, and it was just burger with fries. And it wasn't a burger, it was a chicken breast that had been grilled and put on a burger bun with a little bit of salad and some avocado. And I normally get it delivered, but I'm like, I'm not getting something that costs like £7 delivered when it's the other side of town. Anyway, my dad was going over that side of the town to pick up my prescription and some paracetamol, because I'd run out of paracetamol, which I never ever do. But I don't buy as many as I used to buy. And because I've been really ill this week, I've been having more than usual. Not overdosing, but I've been having more than what I've had for a while. So I said, whilst you're over there, can you go to this place? It's probably a 20-second drive away from there. And he was like, yeah. So I ordered my food, because even though it was free delivery, it's like, well, on Google Maps it says it's a 7-minute drive. I mean, if my dad was driving, it's more like 10. So I was like, so I ordered it. Anyway, my dad came in and I went and sat down with it and pushed my living room door shut, but not fully shut, because if I fully shut it, she sits outside and cries. And I fully expected her to come in the room, even though I didn't want her to come in the room, because I'm sick of reminding me for food. And also, I was really cold, and I wanted the door shut to try and get the room warm. So I sat there eating, and she was in the kitchen eating. I could hear her eating, and she went upstairs, obviously to see where my dad had gone, and she probably presumed he was the one with the food. So I thought, oh, thank God I don't have to, like, have her looking at me with those eyes, you know, when they look at you and they're like, please feed me, I've not eaten for 87 years. Yeah, that look. So eventually she come downstairs, whacked the door open, and I looked at her and went, no. And she looked at me, I was like, no, I'm not sharing, no. So then she went and sat in a bed, and then she creeped over and sat near me, and then she moved, and then she sat back near me, and I'm like, I'm not sharing. And I eventually ate it, and then off she went upstairs, because of course she's just going to sit with me till I finished eating. Then I went in the kitchen to get a drink, and I came back in, sat down and shut the door, but I didn't fully shut it, because I know at any point she could come downstairs. I mean, she might not come down for hours, or she might come down in 2 minutes. So I'm sat there, About 3 minutes later, she trots downstairs, pushes the door open. Now, I'm really ill, and I keep going from being too hot to too cold. And when I'm too cold, I get these really horrible goosebumps all over my body. My body goes really tight and into spasm, and I feel really ill. So I'm trying to get warm and stop that sensation. She's opened the door again. So I'm like, what do you want? I haven't got anything. So after a few minutes, she went back upstairs. So I was like, oh my god. And I went in the kitchen, I got something, I can't remember what I got. Sat back down, but I pushed the door too again. Lo and behold, 2 seconds later, she comes down the bloody stairs into the room. And as she was coming to push the door open, I was walking to the door. So when she comes in, I could fully shut the door. And as she walked in, she just looked at me and stopped. I was like, you're not going to keep opening and shutting that door. I'm getting sick of this. Do you know what the bitch did? Turned around and walked upstairs. And I was there like saying her name. I'm like, you can come in the room. And I said her name all the times, but she totally ignored me. And I was like, yo, I'm getting sick of this. I'm sick of you opening that bloody door. What is wrong with you? So then my dad thought I was shouting him, and he started walking down the stairs. He's like, oh, what do you want? I went, no, I'm shouting at her because she keeps opening the door and I'm bloody cold. I don't have any food, but every time I bloody go in the kitchen, she thinks I've got bloody food. It's ridiculous. She's acting like she never eats. And she does eat. She eats more than enough, that little bugger. So about a few minutes later, I was like, I don't feel well. I'm just going to go to bed. And you know me, if you've watched me for long enough, you'll know that normally when I'm sick, I don't get enough sleep and I stay up longer than I do when I am feeling well. Came upstairs, fell asleep, and when I woke up, because when I got in bed I was shivering, when I woke up I'm sweating. I turned the radiator down, I put the window open, I put the fan on, and I was just really sweating. I'm like, oh my god. So I went downstairs and I've had a couple of cold drinks. I don't think I've had anything to eat because I feel so full. I feel like I'm going to be sick. And I've been down there a few hours, not really been doing anything. And on my phone, I've got this thing on my phone that from 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. I'm not allowed on it, and I've set it. But you can, if you want to go on something, you can put ignore once, and then you get an option like ignore for 15 minutes, ignore for something else, or cancel it for today. And it's even on this on the video I had to press it to ignore it for 15 minutes. And if I go internet, I can open a page, but if I want to go on another page, I have to press ignore for 15 minutes again. And it's to try and stop me from being up all night, because even when I'm ill or even when I'm not ill, it's so easy for me to be up 6-7 in the morning. So I thought I originally set it so it stops me from being on my phone from 3 a.m. onwards, but the first night I was still on my phone at 3 a.m. and I was watching something on YouTube, and I was like, I really want to watch that, so I turned the time to 4 a.m. and it's now 5, but my rule is to try and be off my phone for at least that 4-hour period. And obviously if I go to sleep at 4, I'm not going to be getting up at 8, but there are times where I'll wake up at like 7 and go on my phone for a couple of hours when I should be sleeping. But because I have that thing on, I'm not able to do that. Guys, it's dark. I'm sat in the dark. I feel so unwell. I think the last time I filmed was when I was going to bed. And you know, I said the dog's just come back in the room, and I get comfy in bed and she whacks the door open. Yeah, that happened. But I was so, well, do you know what happened was, my dad got up to go to the toilet, so she sat up, and when he went back in his bedroom, she went downstairs and obviously opened the door. But I was just so tired, I just fell asleep with the door wide open. But I used to sleep with the door wide open with the light on outside anyway. I have the light on in the bathroom and I have the light on outside my bedroom, and I sleep with the doors open, depending on how I'm feeling. Sometimes they're more wide open than others, and I didn't want it as wide open as she made it, but I was just like, I'm tired, I just can't physically get up. I'm tired now, think it is just about to turn 5 o'clock, and I've been awake since 2ish. Came downstairs about half an hour later, and I've just been sat here. I've had painkillers, and I've had one of my main medications because I just got a biscuit. And if you don't know, I can't swallow tablets. I have to eat something, and when I'm about to swallow, put whatever it is in my mouth and swallow it with the food. And obviously a biscuit isn't massive, so I just managed to get 2 paracetamols, 1 Nurofen migraine one, and one of my medications. So I've still got others to take, and I've not took any vitamins, but that's not a priority. I don't really feel hungry. I feel like rubbish. I feel exhausted. I'm headachy. Like, I've had a migraine on and off for a week, but this is going more into like, do you know the type of headache you get when you're not well? One of those ones. Really thirsty, just absolutely exhausted. I keep going hot, and then I go cold, and then I go hot. I'm like, make your mind up, body, are you hot or you cold, because it's annoying me. So that's kind of what's going on. I've had a drink. I probably need another drink. So when I finish filming, I'm going to get up, go and get a drink, take some more medication. And I'm thinking about, I can't even speak. I'm thinking of having a bath, because I'm cold and I don't feel well, and I feel like having a bath will warm me up. The other day when I had a bath on Wednesday, like 2 days apart isn't great, but I got in the bath and I was so cold, and I made it really hot, and it took me about an hour to warm up, and then I became too warm. So I feel like I should just have a bath, just have plenty of rest. I am considering ringing 111 because my doctor ignored me. It was one of 2 doctors. It was either the male doctor, who I've said millions of times he doesn't like me, or it could have been my doctor, because, well, I'm not going to comment, but people aren't as always as nice as they appear to be. And I know for a fact they read the messages. Firstly, every time I've left a message on, I've got some kind of response, whether it be the doctor phone me, a receptionist phone me, or if I'm asking for something, I get the thing I'm asking for. And also I have been told that they do read them by a member of staff, has told me, and depending on what mood the doctor's in, they'll act on it or not, depending on if they like you or not, basically. So it has been ignored, and it is a serious illness that I've got, which the doctors are aware of. My doctor is very, very aware of how serious this condition is and what it can cause, because she used to get really frustrated with me because I wouldn't have an operation to rectify it. But it's my body and my choice, and she may be able to push me into doing some things, but she ain't pushing me into having an operation that I don't want to have. So they've ignored a very seriously ill patient, and if anything happens to me, it shows that I sent the messages, and also if they have their computer took off them and it's analysed, it will prove that they actually read the message. And I got told that if a doctor goes on to give you medication, they can't not see the message because it is so close, like it's right under the medication request, that they can't possibly miss it. So they've read it, they've read that I'm seriously unwell, and they've decided to ignore me. And as I said, it's one of the 2 doctors, the male doctor or my doctor. have a problem, and it's not a third world problem or anything like that. I'm so tired. That is not the problem. I wish I could go back to bed. In fact, I can go back to bed if I want to, so I might do that. So basically, it's December next month for me. I mean, who knows when you're watching this, but it's like the middle of November. Like, tomorrow is 2 weeks since the 1st of November, so it's, around the middle of November. And I had planned on trying to do some form of Vlogmas because, as you know, I don't particularly want to be on camera, but I was still going to try and do it, and I totally forgot about it, and I have continued filming constantly. I've filmed too much recently, and I've got loads of footage on my phone, and I've still not edited all of October, and I've got everything scheduled except for the last week of November. But I think I said in a video days and days and days ago now that I've got so much footage for October I might have to start putting 2 videos up a day. So I don't know what to do, because I don't want to lose the footage that I've got, because if I filmed it, obviously that's a moment in my life that I've filmed, and even though, yes, probably 60% of my life doesn't come online, and there's lots of things you don't know about me, just like anyone else who vlogs, you don't know the whole life. People seem to think they do, but they don't. There's still obviously footage that I've filmed for a reason. I've filmed obviously to go up on the channel. And my original thought was, when I realised I'm doing Vlogmas, I was like, oh, I'll just have my Vlogmas go up in the morning, and at night time have November go up. Then I was like, wouldn't that be confusing? Like, if in the morning you're watching the previous day, and then in the evening you're watching a month earlier. Is that confusing? And obviously, I can't ask you that in advance, because if I ask you that in advance, you'll know I'm doing Vlogmas. And some of you actually presume I'm not doing Vlogmas, but I've done Vlogmas for the last 2 years. And I've heavily filmed other Christmas times, so I wanted to do it. I mean, last year, if you remember, I did Vlogmas and I still managed to do 52 weekly vlogs, because I still managed to finish off my weekly vlogs as well. Or did I do 50? But I still managed to get an extra few weekly vlogs up as well, which was really difficult, and I'm not doing that, obviously, because I'm not doing weekly at the moment. I'm doing random buddy 4 days a week. So I'm trying to decide if, and I think you know by now, I'm a bit sick of editing videos. I'm sick of editing myself, but I'm trying to work out what to do, because I don't know what to do. I want to do Vlogmas, but obviously I've filmed footage that I would like to go up for this month, and I've still got to finish editing October, and it's hard. I need the toilet as well. I'll keep talking to you as I go up to the toilet. But it's hard because, if I do decide to try and get everything up before December, or as much up as possible, and then maybe a few times a week put a vlog up in the evening as well as in the morning, or do I put it up in the morning and then it gives me more time to edit the Vlogmas to get it up the evening? I might do it that way. I'm just going to go to the toilet. I will be back. I have just carried up an ASOS parcel. So guys, I feel so ill. I think in some ways I feel better, in other ways I feel worse. Yesterday, and I never told you this, every time I woke up, because I went to bed, well, last night I went to bed at the same time, but I went to bed at 6 a.m. Thursday morning. Every time I woke up, which seemed to be a lot, I was so nauseous, I literally thought I was going to throw up everywhere. And it eventually went by the time I got up yesterday, but I just kept waking up and it was the worst nausea I've ever had. I was like, oh my god. And I really didn't want to be sick, but I've said this in videos before, I'm rarely ever sick, and sometimes I'm nauseous to the point where I wish I would be sick. But I felt so unwell and I was in so much pain, I was just like, I hope I'm not sick. Like, it's the last thing I want with the way I feel. But I just kept waking up and it was just horrific nausea. And in some ways, like, the pain has gone down a lot. But it's one of those things that anything, well, I know what can set it off, but sometimes even when I'm not doing anything that would set it off, it sets off. So I could be innocently there going, oh yeah, I'm fine, everything's going to be fine, I feel okay. Then 2 minutes later, I could be in the worst pain ever. But I didn't have too much pain yesterday when I eventually got back up. And then I came upstairs to go to bed. And I kind of lounged in my room, and then I think I fell asleep briefly, and then my dad came home and my dog makes such a bloody noise, it actually woke me up. So I went downstairs and then I ordered a Subway, which I've showed you, and it was rubbish. They got mine wrong and my dad's right. Bloody typical that I got my dad something. Do you know what my dad's doing my head in, right? I forgot where I got up to, but I'll go back to that in a minute. So obviously I'm not well enough to go to the shop. I said to my dad, I think if I go to the shop yesterday, I think I'm going to collapse. And I'm not even exaggerating how I felt. I was just like, oh my god, I just felt so ill. So I said, you're going to have to go to the shop today. And he was moaning at me because he was like, I don't want to do a full shop. And I'm like, we'll do 3 days. And that'll take us to Tuesday and I'll see how I feel. Because obviously I am getting better. But this is not going to go away because it's a really serious illness. And yeah, I'm doing everything I can to make it better. But I have a bit of, it's made me feel run down as well. So I feel, do you know when you've got a bit of a cold or you're getting over a cold and you're really tired, and I feel like that. And it's because my body is fighting what it's fighting. It's just putting all its energy into fighting that, so I feel crappy. But, you know, my dad wasn't particularly happy about going to the shop. Oh god, my head is killing me. He weren't happy about going to the shop. So I was like, just get 3 days and I'll see how I feel. Because really, I do want to start feeling better, but I know if I don't get treatment for it, even if I do start to get better, which I am a little bit, even if I like get 50% better, it's not going to get past that point because obviously the issue's still there, and obviously things have got inflamed inside me, and I've not been well for about a week and a half by this point, but I didn't know what was wrong with me. And I don't think what was wrong with me was necessarily my main illness, because my main illness just flared up all of a sudden. But if you remember, which I've not actually put it up yet, I need to try and put it up before you find out about it, but I did a food challenge and I said this could be the death of me, this could set off all kinds of problems and issues that I have. And I think because I did do that food challenge, I stopped the food challenge, which if I put the video up, you'll know I suddenly... You hear that? I think it's the postman at 2:30 in the afternoon. I stopped the challenge when I got to 7,500 because even though I wasn't full and I could have carried on eating, my stomach went rock hard and tight. And do you know that feeling that you get in your throat where you feel super full but you're not full, and you've got this tight feeling in your throat and you can't breathe properly because it makes you feel worse? That's how I felt, and I was like, that's one of the signs of my main illness. I need to stop now, because if I carry on, guarantee I will probably end up in hospital. And I was disappointed because I had about 2 hours left, and I know I could have got at least another 2,000 calories in me, but I stopped to save myself from myself, and I wasn't filming it properly. I don't want to be on camera, and I feel like I should do it properly in the future when I will be on camera, when I'm hopefully healthier. I actually need to walk downstairs because I need to check something before my dad leaves the shop again. Hello? You come up because you're scared? You're scared of cat, aren't you? Oh, she's like, there's something going on, Mummy, I don't like it. She's a big softie, aren't you? She come up for protection. I'm protecting my dog. She's meant to be my guard dog. Hey? You're not bloody protecting me, are you? Gonna get a tougher dog next time, you? You softie. I think if it came to it, well, no, if it came to it, she would protect me. So yeah, I stopped because I got this sensation and feeling that I get when my main illness is about to kick off at me. And no cuties, gives a kiss. It's alright, I'll protect you. Right, I can't remember where I'm up to, but I've just had to like come home and like... Not home. Oh God, I am at home. Oh my God. You tell I'm tired and I feel like crap because I'm just talking crap, basically. Oh my God. Stressed out because my dad basically can't go to the shop and get what I want. He always says he can't find it. Yet if I went to the shop straight away, I would find it. Even though he swears blind, it's definitely not there. He does this to me all the time. And I found it hard to pick what to have for the next 3 days because I just don't feel like eating, but I know. And also, I say to you all the time that my doctor says to me, if you don't feel up to eating, don't eat. But I sometimes feel better for eating. So there's days when I know there's absolutely no chance that I can eat. Like today, I've had half a time out to swallow some tablets with. Then I've just found a tablet in my pocket which I forgot to take. I'll have to take it. Then I had after 8 hot chocolate from Costa, but I got a small one because I didn't know if I was going to like it or not, and it is actually quite nice. I didn't even have to put sugar in it because sometimes hot chocolate is bitter, like too bitter, and I had to put sugar in. Didn't have to put sugar in. It wasn't too minty because I thought, oh God, what if it's super minty? And it had an after 8 as well. So I've had that and I'm full. I'm so full I couldn't eat anything right now. And I'm trying to decide what drink to get because I want to go back upstairs. And I'm probably going to have a shower. My hair doesn't need washing though, but I want a shower. Do you know when you just want a shower because you just feel crappy? I want a shower, so I will probably wash my hair. Which in an ideal situation I probably wouldn't do today, but... I don't know, I had planned on phoning 111 today. It's a miracle I got that right because sometimes I accidentally say 101. They wouldn't help me even if I was being murdered. So, yeah, I sent my dad to the shop and I was trying to write a shopping list. I wrote it about 5 o'clock this morning because I was downstairs. I might stay downstairs for a bit to be honest and then go upstairs. I just don't know what to drink. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, I was writing the shopping list and on Saturday, like I don't know what I want. It's hard when you're not walking around the shop. As I said, that Asda's not the biggest Asda. There's not the biggest amount of choice, and I didn't really want. Hello. Hi. There's no one there, sweetheart. Hello, gorgeous. What you doing? Would you like a bath? She's like, nope, you're not doing that to me. You are well overdue one. You, if I watch back my vlogs, you'll probably needed one for a month now. You stinking. You are stinking. Oh, you stinky girl. She's like, don't bath me, please. Don't. Please, not today. I promise I'll be good. You are a little scruffy smelly girl. You stinking. You stinking the outside, Mrs. You stinker. You stinking. You stinking. She's well overdue one, and she knows it. Cheeky chops. Hey, cheeky. definitely needs one, guys. She's really bad. Bet you want one of these, though, don't you? Good girl. It's a good job I'm ill, because otherwise I would be putting her in the VATH right now.